Battlefield's National Historic District, whose great honor it is to manage and maintain this property on your behalf, could not be more pleased with the moment at which we've arrived. The placement of this monument on this battlefield is not only a high honor to the Battlefield's Foundation, but it should be a high honor to all of you who support the Battlefield's Foundation and who can claim and rightfully claim this as part of your own legacy. Monuments are not only controversial nationwide for many reasons, but within the preservation community, monuments are often debated. If you put a monument on a landscape, does it degrade that landscape? If you put up markers and monuments, does it take the battlefield landscape farther away from a place of understanding, a place where people can come and understand and envision what happened there? You go to Antietam or Gettysburg, both battlefields nearby, as you know, there are many monuments at both. And the National Park Service has put a moratorium on monuments because this debate still rages and has for decades about how many monuments are appropriate. In my own life, in my own career, I've come full circle on the idea of monuments. When I was a little boy, I grew up in Hershey, Pennsylvania, the only child of a single mother. And one Easter after church, she had given me the decision as to where we would have Easter dinner. And I said I wanted to have it at Gettysburg. And so she packed a picnic lunch, picnic dinner, all the fixings for Easter dinner in a wooden picnic basket, and we got in her car and traveled the hour distance to Gettysburg. And I can remember sitting in front of the monuments at Gettysburg that Easter, with the blankets spread out in front of the stone, and looking up at those monuments. And it's a very distinct memory to me. I was very inspired by those monuments and their martial grandeur. And I could see through my little boy's eyes what those men must have looked like charging across those fields. As I moved forward in my life and I went to work for the National Park Service, I didn't have that same view of monuments. It was my job at Antietam, specifically, to restore the landscape to the way it looked at the time of the battle in 1862. And in that era of my life, I looked at a monument as something that took away from what I was so hard pressed to do, which was turn back the hands of time and make the landscape look as it once had. When I came to this position and found myself part of a team that is creating battlefield parks, I was reminded of my earlier view on monuments. And I was reminded of how monuments inspired me as a little boy having Easter dinner with my mother, and how they made that place different, how they made that place special in my memory. It wasn't just any park, it wasn't just any open field, it was a place that was different. It was a place where something great had happened. The National Historic District has taken the view that we must, in this day and age, in certain moments, allow for monuments to be erected so that for all time people know that this place is different and that the battlefield spots from one end of the valley to the other are different. We want people to come here and enjoy these spaces for outdoor recreation, for emotional solace, to get their children into the fresh air. But while they're doing that, we don't want them to forget that they're walking on holy ground, that they're walking at a place where great deeds were done on their behalf, that they are visiting a location that forever changed the course of American history, where people who did not know them died for them, and where people who did not know of our time did great things to make our times what they are. Monuments, I've come to believe, are very important. We do things in our everyday life to remember. You buy a ball cap when you're on vacation. You pick up a seashell at the beach. You have a memento from when you were a child. And they're put at places in our homes, on our desks at work, on the dashboards of our vehicles, so that we can see them. Because those things remind us of something in our life. These monuments are our national reminders that at one time we tore ourselves apart as a nation, and that it's been very, very difficult to create and preserve the nation that we have today. Men from Ohio fought and died where you are sitting right now. They charged up over the fields behind me, across where you're sitting, down over these banks, struggled through the mud and the muck of Redbud Run, and they charged into destiny. What they gave up that day, either in their very life or through their future health, we gained. What they lost, we received. And this monument will forever be a testament to their bravery, their dedication, their devotion, and it will ever be a reminder to us of what they did here for us. And it will always call to us to do monumental things in our own times, to do the hard things in our own times, to march off to our own battles, to fight the wars that our neighbors need us to fight, to do things every day that we didn't think we could do, and to do it for the good of the country. We are so proud that the Ritchie family, and Steve Wander, and the many donors who came together to join them in making this possible chose this location to erect the monument. We're honored to be perpetually the stewards of this beautiful piece of art, and we're blessed to have it because this will help us tell the story of this battlefield. Not just today, not just tomorrow, but long past our times and forever. Forever. With that, I would like to introduce Rex Ritchie and Steve Wander, the program originators, the project coordinators, and the major donors for this monument. How about giving them a round of applause?
Give me the mic.
Yeah, you got it.
As Kevin always says, brevity is beautiful.
Hold that up.
I'll try to keep that.
Speak into the microphone.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay. First of all, I want to thank all of you for coming. It's very nice to have you here and see you here. Steve and I are both Buckeyes. You probably guessed that. Steve is a product of the Columbus area. I'm a farm boy from up the northwest part of the state in San Juan County, but we are Buckeyes true and true. I took off my visor, but also said Ohio State. We also share that thing, I will say, but in case you represent other schools, I didn't want to bring up a controversial issue. We were responsible for several things in this entire project. First, we initiated the project just by talking and saying, we look at that list of names of Ohioans that participating and the numbers, and said something should be done to honor them. We were responsible for the design, and there were many, many discussions because, as I think you would agree, this design is not sort of typical of battlefield of monuments. It's a lot different. But we wanted something that stood out that if any Buckeye walked by in this trail, they had no question in their mind of what we were honoring. So we designed it, and we were responsible for the funding. So what can I say? That all of you who have contributed, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for helping to make this a project come true. It was not cheap, as most of you know. It's a $100,000 project, but we started out both being cantankerous engineers, and by nature anyway, said either we're going to do it right or we're not going to do it. And that was our feeling and the approach we started with. We worked as one other gentleman. Mike, are you here?
Yes, over here, right.
Mike, stand up, Mike.
Yeah.
On all the stages of design and all of the work of getting this in place, including I got a bunch of pictures of he and his helpers unloading these great big hunks of granite. Mike took the lead on that and was the go-to person. His family's been in the granite industry for years, and he lived through a lot of agony in this 2-year project. Mike,
Pardon? With you and me.
what, with you? Well, with you.
Oh.
No, part of the problem was dealing with us, but it wasn't the only thing he dealt with. So, Michael, we thank you very, very much for all you have done. You deserve the applause. We thank you very much for your help. We thanks you for your help, if I can say it right, for coming here to honor the commitment, the courage, the sacrifice that all of these people made. There, and just lest you forget, and it's all shown on the bronze plaque in the back, there were over 4,000 Ohioans that fought in this battlefield. There were hundreds who were wounded, as was alluded to, and were 66 that never made it home. That's commitment, that's dedication, and these people deserve our honoring. Thank you for helping to be there and help us to do this today. And the thing I guess I would comment with is this. It's not just that they fought and they died, that is an important part, and those are the people and the troops we're honoring. It's the significance it made to the future of our country. And it's written in the back, and we feel strongly. This, along with Sherman's victory a few weeks earlier, it really gave Lincoln a lot of shot in the arm to get reelected. We all know what that meant about the 13th Amendment and things that came afterwards. Their resolve, their commitment, made a big difference in the future of this country, and we want to honor it. So thank you very much for here being a part of this and helping us to do it. From our heart, we thank each and every one of you for caring enough to do that. Now, on a lighter topic, and then I'll be quiet. We have over the table, when this is over, I purchased 300 Ohio Buckeyes. How many are from Ohio or know about the Ohio Buckeyes? Some of you. Explain it to these people who've never had the honor. These chocolate and peanut butter candies are a standby in Ohio. If you ever go to Ohio State football game or anything, you'll see them all over. I got 300 of them. They have to be used. I cannot eat them all.
They have to. Kendra.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were you over there too?
No.
No. Anyway, please, when it's over, stop by, take one or several of them. We want them to go just as a reminder that we're honoring Buckeyes today. Thank you very, very much from the bottom of our hearts for being here and supporting us. Appreciate it.